Only a couple of feet before we reached almost behind the rocks, the girl tumbled over me. I grabbed her with the other guy, pushed them like in a militant way behind the rocks. The eyes of the girl were flapping so quick, and her mouth was wide open. And when I opened her jacket, in her left side, there was a wound the size of my fist. And I knew that she was in great agony. So as calm as I was, I picked up my pistol and I shot her down. Then I flipped. I pick up her machine gun in mine, jump above the rocks, walk toward the others, shooting, shouting, really mad. What happened was, against all kind of military training, they were sitting next to landmines. One of my bullets hit the landmines, killed a lot of them, gave me a couple of shrapnels on the forehead. I woke up later on in the hospital. I asked this missionary guy, I said, listen, if your Christ was there and just, why the girl had to die? It was me who refused to help. He looked at me and he asked me the question which really shaken me. He said, why didn't you die? Why you were the only one to come back alive? In a few seconds, I remembered all those times when I was the only warrior to come back, injured, bashed, but alive. And I didn't want to talk to this man anymore. I turned and walked away. But he was a wise soul winner, real wise fisherman. He dashed behind me, pushed his carpet above my shoulder, and says, here's, call me whenever you want. I didn't even turn. I just picked it up, put it in my pocket, and went straight home. That's a big insult in the country anyway. Poor thing. And that night, the giant in me refused to sleep. I sat at the edge of my bed, my head between my hands, and his words, ding, dong. I just couldn't sleep. Next day, I got to a part-time job. I used to love it a lot. It used to allow me to read, printing house. I stood up in front of my machine, looking at it, which it jammed and stopped, and I'm not seeing anything of it. The foreman came and hit me on my shoulder to wake me up. I get mad. I beat him up and rush back home, pick up my pistol, and come back. I'm jumping the first set of steps, and before I jump the second set of steps to enter, stopped right in the middle and said, okay, Zach, what you're gonna do, you're gonna shoot this man, he's gonna fall down, and his blood will cover the ground. You've seen enough blood in your life. Go out to the street, call this guy, his phone number in your pocket, and come down. I did. First thing I called, and the first thing I said to the guy, I said, listen, I have a pistol, and I could kill someone if you don't talk. And the man jumped and talking right away. He talked, and when he said that Jesus Christ had died for me, I burst in tears. I don't know why. If anybody asked me why I cried that minute, I really don't know. But I cried, and I cried. And the guy says, put your pistol aside and come to me. So, and he directed me where to go. I went and put my pistol with someone I know, then I went straight to his house. There, he was waiting for me with another Lebanese believer. We sat down, we talked, and out of sudden, this Lebanese believer bring an old New Testament, and he says, will you bless us with a reading? I pick up the book, open the Bible, and the first sentence I read was, come to me, all ye tired, and I'll give you rest. I went on my knees, and I prayed a prayer I'll never, ever forget. It's now almost 35 years with the Lord, and I'll never forget that. I said to him, Jesus, I don't know you. I've never met you. I've never heard about you. This is the first time someone tell me about you. First time I hear about you. I'm a very bad boy. I've cheated, I've lied, I've stole, I've committed adultery, I even killed the human beings. Everything you can put it under the line sin. I tell you, I've been there. And I don't ever think that I'll be a good boy again in my life. But I promise you only one thing, that I'll try. You help me, you change me, I surrender my heart and my soul to you. And then, after I prayed this prayer, I went out, got my pistol, and went to walk with my beside my best friend for years. Seashore. Lebanese western borders is Mediterranean. We have the longest shores ever. And whenever I used to be feeling depressed or sad or really pressured, I used to go and sit at the seashore, talk to the sea for a while, and listen to the waves for hours. That day, I did that. I went and picked up my pistol and went to the seashore, walking and thinking, I mean, what happened so quickly and dramatically in less than 24 hours? I met this guy, I prayed, I became a Christian, oh my Lord. And then my hand is heavy. I turned around to see I'm still carrying my pistol. One look at it, and I knew that it was a door to the evil, which I don't want it anymore, and I threw it to the sea. From that minute on, I'm a free man. Maybe because I came from background which is life is tough, where open flesh, broken bones, and even bleeding, and even death is exactly, to me, it was like going through a door or drinking a cup of coffee. I mean, meant nothing really, this toughness meant nothing to me, any kind of a trouble. Maybe because of that, I was, praise the Lord, courageous enough to tell my people, my family next day that I became a Christian. My dad, it seems, I said it in a way, really convinced him. He took the small Bible, which the missionary gave it to me out of my hand, shredded it, slapped me 3 times, and jumped backwards. And I calmly, believe it or not, I mean, I was a warrior. I would really kill someone easy, yet I looked at my dad so calm and said, look, you destroy my Bible or you beat me, it doesn't make a difference. A Christian is a Christian. Now, the one who got really spooked was my mom. She went out to the street, took all the neighbors, all the buildings, all the homes, knocking at the doors of each one and every one of them and says, look after your kids for my kid. He became a Christian. So my news spread out so easy in the area. But, believe it or not, the first couple weeks, no persecution. You know why? Because every time in the battlefield, I would drop someone, and 2 or 3 warriors would admit that I'm the one who dropped them, they'll give me a point on my chart. I walked out of fighting life with 223 points in my chart.